Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another episode of Raw Out of 10. Lots happening this week. Big E promised he'd cash in his Money in the Bank contract. Did he? You probably already know, but I'll build up tension. Also, we've got lots of other stuff on the show as we build towards Extreme Rules, so let's get straight into it. And Raw this week kicked off with Bobby Lashley in the ring. Big E was in the ring as well, as was RK Bro. Bobby Lashley and MVP got on the mic and let others know that Lashley was not in a laughing mood and asked Randy to explain why he had his title match with Lashley moved to tonight. Randy said all he could do was ask before MVP took shots at Big E for running from Raw to Smackdown after Lesnar showed up. Randy said that he was going to win the title tonight and Big E said he would cash it in. Lashley threatened to destroy both of them before walking away. Randy used the distraction to hit an RKO on Big E as the segment ended. Basically just laying the ground for tonight. It was fine. Next up was Charlotte versus Shayna Basler. Flair and Basler countered each other's moves early on before Charlotte was caught on the ropes. Shayna went outside the ring and Charlotte hit a big dive over the ropes before he headed to a break. Back on Raw, Flair stomped on Basler before Shayna got a near fall off the counter. Flair took a huge German suplex before Basler hit another near fall. Nia Jax then walked out and Shayna managed to take Flair down. Back after a break, Basler had the advantage and was setting up for the finish, but Nia showed up in the apron, distracted her, and Charlotte hit the big boot to get the win. And then after the match, there was lots of shenanigans. Alexa Bliss came down to the ring and said that she had Lily a gift, and it was another doll for Charlotte. Flair refused to accept it, and Charlotte was getting more and angry. She said her name was Charlie, and then Alexa attacked the Queen and sent Flair outside, hitting a powerbomb, wiping her out and posing with the Raw Women's title. I'll give this a 6 out of 10. Kind of just slowly building up towards the match. Shayna Basler, you kind of expect nothing less now than for her to get buried, which is really sad. But yeah, it is what it is. Charlotte gets her win. I think this pretty much went the way everyone expected, but a new bloody doll, God. Before Drew McIntyre was making his entrance on Raw, when Jinder, Veer and Shanky attacked him, Drew was down and the Viking Raiders ran to the ring to make the save before they headed for the match. Veer and Eric kicked off the match before Jinder was tagged in and isolating Eric in the corner. Drew was tagged in and he took out Jinder before wiping Veer out as well. Drew then hit a spine buster and a claymore eventually and picked up an easy win. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 though. It's just the same old repetitive stuff. I mean, man, I thought we were done with this after SummerSlam, but it certainly doesn't seem like it. Before Big E was backstage on Raw with the New Day once more, and they hyped E up for tonight. Before we moved on to our next match, Damien Priest versus Jeff Hardy. Sheamus walked out just before the match started and joined the commentary team. Priest took Hardy down with an atomic drop before Hardy hit a dive off the ropes and dodged some kicks from the US champ. Priest then dumped Jeff outside with a kick before diving on him. Outside, Priest was sent to the announcer's desk before Priest got multiple near falls after he returned to Raw, and Hardy attacked him on the ropes before being kicked off the top. Priest then hit a springboard body kick before Hardy tried for his finish, but Damien countered it with the reckoning. Sheamus attacked Priest with a brogue kick, and Priest beat him to the kick and hit a move on Sheamus before he retreated. 6 out of 10. Shame to see Jeff Hardy being used, but it is what it is. Before Nikki Ash and Ripley got in the fight backstage with Natalya and Demina, before Sonya Deville set up a match between all of them. First up was Nikki Ash versus Demina. Nikki was being tossed around early on, with Demina in control before Nikki managed to hit a drop kick and the head scissors takedown before being taken out once more. Nikki managed to hit a tornado DDT and pick up the victory, and that was the first match before we then moved into Ripley V Natalya. Ripley accidentally hit a drop kick on Demina on the outside before the match. Natalya locked in a sharpshooter on Ripley and got another short shooter in before Nikki broke up the pin attempt. Ripley took control and hit a Texas clothesleaf, and Natty had no other choice but to tap out. I'm going to give this 5 out of 10. Once again, it's just the same old stuff. Like, how many times can Natalya and Demina lose before everyone that title is already worthless? It already is, but come on, you're just not even pretending that it's not. Before next up we got AJ Styles, Omos, Retribution versus the New Day, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Mansoor and AJ kicked off things in the ring. Styles and Omos were in control before Ali came in and was tossed outside. New Day eventually got in and they managed to get in control before T-Bar managed to retake control. Ali was legal, however, when AJ tagged in and hit a move, but they were all tossed out of the ring by Omos before he hit a double choke slam on Ali to get the win. Once again, I don't really have an issue with these tag matches if it's putting it over Amos, because Jesus Christ, I'm loving the push that they're going on at the moment. One of the few good things about Raw. Before next up was Doudrop versus Eva Marie, and Marie took Doudrop to the corner early on and smacked her on the turnbuckle before being taken down with a right hook. Doudrop then sent Eva into the corner for a big splash before Marie counters the big move but fell to roll on her. Doudrop wiped out Eva with a crossbody and picked up the win. I'm going to this a 5 out of 10. It's same old stuff, the same old. Just find something new if you're just going to do this whole match over and over again. I bet it'll be the same next week as well, and that's the worst thing about it, really, to be perfectly honest. Before Karrion Kross, he wasn't in the match this week, surprisingly, showed up backstage and said he had an ultimate plan. He wished to hurt everyone and get what he wanted. Well, let's see how that goes, mate. Before we got Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton in our main event. Orton fed the ring early on before he managed to get a near fall after he sent Lashley into the ring post. The Viper went for the draping DDT, but Lashley reversed it. And Randy bounced Lashley off the barricades. Back after the break, Orton hit a superplex for a near fall before Lashley sent him into the ring post on the outside. The Almighty sent Randy into the barricades before Lashley got a spear in. Orton took him to the corner for some strikes before Randy got another DDT. Lashley then tried for the hurt lock but took an RKO. MVP tried to help Bobby but Riddle got in his way. Randy then hit an RKO to MVP before Lashley managed to get the spear for the win. Lashley attacked RK Bro after the match and took out Riddle before Randy was sent through the announcer's dash. Lashley hurt his own knee in the process before Big E came running out and cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. Big E was focusing on Lashley's knee but took a spear for a near fall before Big E eventually reversed and hit a big ending on Lashley. Big E has done it. He's become WWE champion. No one saw this coming a few days ago. Absolutely crazy. Loved it from start to finish. You just can't really get over how much Big E deserved that moment. He's just been so great for so long, and it's nothing less than he deserved. Obviously, it was all a bit of a mess, this segment, but it was totally worth it for Big E winning the big one. Overall, this week, Raw gets a 6 out of 10 from me. The rest of the show, except for the main event, Big E, Lashley, was probably a 5-4 out of 10. But that main event was just so great. Big E just deserves it so much. It was a bit messy, but as I said earlier, no one cares. It just made for a happy ending to wrestling TV, which was great. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. So like, share, subscribe. Don't your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter. Thanks for WWE wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.